The guys, it's a new week, it's new days. I thought Tuesday's practice was one of the better practices we've had in the year. Today was a really good practice, and we want to put another one together. And I think the guys are continue to be short-term focused, which is really important. So what can we do today?
I'm seeing your recent games and everything, even some of the games you're being outshot, you guys are hanging in there. You're coming across to me as a team that's very difficult to play against. You're being physical, you're being feisty. Cornell, he and I just talked about that. Do you see the same thing right now with where you're at this point of the year?
We are a team, right? We're a team that, you've taken out our top two scorers recently, in Polino and Hayhurst, Danny DeGrande. Those are probably our three fastest players. So we've had to be tenacious and be gritty, and everyone has bought into that. And being physical and hard to play against is probably one of the most proud things I could say about any team that I coach, is that we're hard to play against.
What attributes, other than a lot of goals being scored and very few being given up, go into some of the X and O's on the ice that a lot of people may not see that make a team tough to play against?
Yeah, just commitment to each other, commitment to being a unit of 5, a unit of 4, working with the goaltender, whatever it is, and that if you master your moment and the other guy masters his moment, then all of a sudden you put those moments together and we're pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I asked Tommy this. I go back to the Cornell game when they got that goal to break the scoreless tie. I thought a team could have just said, "Oh, what was us?" right, and packed it in at that point of the game. You guys didn't do that. I thought the resiliency shows the program definitely on the rise. Well, talk about that moment. Was that just something you guys can build from, that you didn't quit?
I would address that question with the answer of what we do in the locker room and what we do on the bench, and that we understand as a group what's happening, and that there's teams are going to score goals. The Princeton game was a bigger example of that. That we were playing really well. I thought we were energetic. I thought we controlled the play, but we found ourselves down 2, almost 3-0, maybe 4-0 with a near empty netter. Mm-hmm. And we stayed the course. We believed in the process. And what the guys talk about, and with us as coaches, is intentional behavior to get through those moments. And that every good team, every team is going to have a push. We got to be able to hold and push back and stay at that high level and not dip or not rise too high. And I think that those are 2 examples, and there's a lot of them that the guys have been really good with their demeanor, locker room to bench, and bench shift to shift.
And changing gears on you, can you talk about Jake Morello's role? I see him on the PK and getting a little more active in the offensive zone, and how has he kind of evolved as the season has gone along?
Well, Jake Morello, I like him as the mayor of Slingerlands. He's a real likable guy in the room. Just says and does the right things, but isn't overly aggressive with his personality. I think his skill set is very high. His IQ is very high. He started to grow when we put him at center and just left him alone this year. So now I've been challenging him to use his feet more, to challenge defenders, to challenge the other team's defense, and that's obviously the same on the penalty kill. So now he's with 2 guys that'll crash and bang in Whiffen and Cornell, and it seems like there's some real good chemistry there. I've used them against other teams' top lines, and I've used them to try and create offense. So they're really an all-purpose line, and Morello in the middle, I think, really makes it go, because he can make a play on both sides of his stick, and he's intelligent.
Now, how essential is that for the overall team? I mean, like you said, you got your speed guys not playing. Not everyone could be a speed guy or a sniper. You need to have those role players.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a real nifty touch. The game against Union at the Mayor's Cup was interesting, because we go to a shootout, and it was unanimous when I asked the guys, who should shoot? And almost everybody was like, Morello. I was like, all right, Morello's going to shoot. And, he didn't score there, but he's real cerebral and real intelligent, with nice hands and skills to go with it. That role he embraces, but we continue to push him even further. Like, if you're going to play in our program, we're going to push you. everybody. And so Jake Morrell is being pushed to do more offensively, to play faster because he has that ability, and I think we're seeing him grow into that.
My line has been together for a while now. We've really developed some chemistry, and I mean, we're playing well together. We're playing well in the offensive zone, the D zone, and it's good to have coach rely on your line in a key situation. So I'm happy with it, obviously, and I love the guys I'm playing with. So,
for you personally, going back 2 years, how have you had to adjust your style of play to coaches' game plans?
I mean, making the transition from junior hockey to college hockey, definitely have to adjust. But I think in the 2 years, not much has changed. I think if you just play honest, hard game, I think good things will happen. So,
yeah, let's go back to when did you start playing hockey?
Probably started skating at Dave Randall's right across there when I was like 4 or 5.
And what youth program did you grow up in?
Troy, Albany, yeah. So kind of combined, I think, when I was.
All right, yeah. And take me through the progression of your career and to where you ended up at Academy.
Yeah, I played in Troy, Albany, really my whole life for Ron Kuehl growing up, and my birth year. A lot of guys playing in college now. And then I played in Long Island for a year, and then went to Albany Academy. And then after that, went to Gunnery Prep School in Connecticut my senior year.
Right.
Played 1 year juniors in Long Island, and then came here.
I talked to you at the beginning of the season. How nice is it to be able to play at home?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, just to have your whole family come out to every game. I mean, grandparents, aunt, uncle, everyone. It's great. So, I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
So, especially being away.
Is it, what was I going to say? Is it, let's go back to the season. You guys, I've seen what I see as a team that's really becoming difficult to play against. Mm-hmm. Do you guys see yourself like that, as a kind of a hard-nosed team that your opponents should know that they're going to get your best shot every night?
Yeah, I think so. I think right now, I mean, everybody's bought into our style. I mean, if we play our system, everybody in the room believes we can beat anybody. I think we've shown we can be tough to play against, and we can compete, if not, I mean, beat anybody in the country. We truly believe that. So it's good to have right now, especially coming to the winding down the end of the year. So
what's the mood of the team right now, coming off of a tough loss Saturday night?
Yeah, it was definitely a tough loss, obviously, getting scored on like that with a minute left or what it was. But, I mean, we're optimistic. We hung in there with a really good hockey team, and there's no reason why we can't. We don't think we can get 4 points this weekend, so we're happy with where we are, I'd say.
If it brought energy to the bench, I'm glad to hear that. And I would say leading up to the goal, I guess you could consider that whole 49-second sequence game-changing, because once we got that first goal, I think as a group on the bench, we knew we were going to win at that point. Our confidence went a lot higher than it was when we were down 2-0, and we knew we were gonna get the tire. And once we got the tire, it was kind of a wrap in our minds, and we showed that in the third.
I think since you've been in the lineup, you've brought a physicality or a feistiness to the team. Is that something that you try and do when you're on the ice?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of my game. I try to bring a lot of energy and physicality. I know that that's kind of stuff is contagious. And when you can get an entire team to play that way, they become very, very difficult to play against. And, to see guys feed off of that, it makes me want to keep doing it. And seeing that it helps contribute to success, it makes me want to keep doing it as well.
How much fun are you having now after sitting out all that time and be able to – I haven't talked to you since you've been playing.
Yeah, no, it's been well worth the wait up to this point. I think that's just going to continue throughout the rest of my career here. These first 15 games have been a blast. We were playing really well as a team, which makes it more fun. And that was our first loss on Saturday in I think like 6 games. So I think we're definitely turning our season around from the first half, and we just want to keep that trend going into playoffs.
You guys anxious to get to Ithaca Friday night and drop the puck with Cornell and see?
Oh yeah, I think that last game, although we tied, I think we believed we could have won, even though they dominated a lot of the game. And I think now that we've seen them for one time, we know what to expect. And we're a hungry team right now, and we want to face teams in the top 10 like Cornell, and it's a matchup we're excited to play in.